certain things you have to do, but you don't have that kind of support.
The dilemma that they don't have time.
Why it is fit 40?
Started my real rehab clinic in Mississauga. The first day I went inside, all my staffs called me. 5 staffs resigned next day. I bought the clinic with a loan. There is no staff. After that, I have 18 staffs. I lost my father. My mother is struggling and her salary was just 300 rupees. Imagine surviving 300 rupees salary with 2 kids.
Most people only see the version of a person that survived. They don't see the years of loss, pressure, silence, and mistakes that came before. Today's conversation is not only overnight success, or title, or a motivation quote. It's about a real journey, one shaped by struggles. Losing a father in early stage, watching a mother fight for education, starting over in a new country, making emotional mistakes, burning out, and slowly rebuilding life through discipline and health. My guest today is Arul Prabin. Welcome to the ASA Podcast. So anyone can be very popular, based on what they do, in their own journey. When someone hear your name, the first thing that comes to their mind is your face, or your present version of what you are. But before all of this, if you want to describe yourself, who you are, what that would be.
When people hear my name, they see me as an entrepreneur, they see me as an wellness coach, or they see me as a content creator who shares valuable information about health, fitness, and mindset. Person always sees their success, the final version of oneself. But what they not see is the hardship, the struggle, the rebuilding which happens behind that. So this is all what I am. Like if you see my back, like I came from Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. That is the village which I come from. Limited opportunity back then. I come up with a struggle, my mother's sacrifice. So today I feel myself who came to Canada as an immigrant 2019. In 7 years, I built my entrepreneurship. I had my business. I started my wellness coach journey, content creation. Today I reach to people. So I'm pretty much satisfied about what I am currently.
But before we move into today's conversation, I know this is not an easy topic for you. There's a lot of emotions that are involved in this, your story, your background, everything, right? Is there anything that will make you feel uncomfortable, or is there any topic that will make you that will affect you emotionally?
Talking about my childhood, always emotional for me. But I'm comfortable sharing with you anything.
So this means that the discussion is going to be very
open-hearted, I'd say.
Open-hearted. There won't be any limits to what we discussed today. Kind of.
100%. We have to give a proper valuable to the people who are listening. So I'm ready to share my journey.
Okay.
That's excellent. So before we get into the story, we know that this is your first time being in front of a podcast. You might have created various content, might have met people like in person or virtually. So how do you feel being here for the first time in a podcast?
To be honest, mix of both. Excited at the same time, bit of nervous since it's my first. But I'm very grateful for sharing my journey to people who is listening now. Everybody is having a sense of like final version of someone's success, but they are not seeing the hardship or rebuilding happened in back.
So now when people have no big dreams, I would assume there won't be much things to worry about, right? Because only there is an expectation. I need to think about how I will meet that expectation, what I need to do to reach that expectation. If you are worrying about something during the childhood age, where not most of the people who are on that age will be thinking about or worrying about, what would that be?
That would be the loss of my father, because I was too young. Now, after his loss, I need to carry my family's responsibility. And I'm seeing my mother struggling to raise both of us, me and my elder brother. So the responsibility came little earlier. That's what I felt.
Now, if you want to tell just one thing, like this is something I started carrying way too early in my life. What would be that for you?
As I said before, like the early responsibility, which I took little earlier, like compared to my friends, they were going to school and they don't have anything to do as because that they don't have such responsibility what I have, because I lost my father. My mother is struggling and her salary was just 300 rupees. Imagine surviving 300 rupees salary with 2 kids. Of course, they helped me growing because of them that I am here today. But still, when you lost your father, you always have that in a doubt, like certain things you have to do, but you don't have that kind of support. You have so much of dream, in a sense, like I'm a sports guy, want to do something, but there is no one to push you or there is no one to guide you in a right way. So I have to do by myself. I have to do my own research. Still, the opportunities are limited in village. There was no proper internet. There was no such smartphones like today. So I still feel like I have to go talk to people. These are the things which came because of my, like the situation which I faced in my life. So yeah, I definitely be different from the other kids.
So in that case, what does success or doing well mean in your case at that time? Now you are okay. I know you are standing before a lot of people. You are entrepreneur by your own. You are running your own product line with regards to health and product, right? And then you are coaching many people towards success. You are a financial entrepreneur too. No, I would say entrepreneur in financial sector too, right? But what does success mean back then?
Each stages our success has changed. Like it defines in different role. When you're young, like when I started my karate, my goal is to complete my karate class. Like I want to get that black belt. So when you reach that level, that is a success then. So getting the first salary, like first when I started my dojo, so I started making money at the age of 16. That was the success at that time. So and then I was I was dreamed to come to Canada in 2003 when I started nursing career. I choose that career because the only reason is to reach to Canada. So when I went to Bangalore, get my college seat, that was a success then. So each stage, the success was kept changing because I was so ambitious. I was kept pushing my limits.
Emotionally, we can all understand that losing one of the strongest member in the family, like a father figure, is very emotional. And you have mentioned it happened for you in a very early stage. How old were you by then?
See, I was 1 year old and my brother is 2. My mom and father separated. And then after that, we were living with my mom, my grandfather house in a village. When I was grade 3, we got a telegram saying that my father passed away. I didn't see his face, just in photo. Yeah, it's a hard moment, of course, it's not easy. But there was no emotional connection with my father because I was not living with him. I was not sharing anything with him. I'm emotional and connected with my mom. And I saw her struggle, what she went through because of this. So, losing my father, yes, it's a biggest loss. But apart from that, the struggle my mom went through is what I felt not anybody should have that. My son is 11 years old. I am another father now. So now I definitely miss my father. I would have been different if I had my father. If I grown up with him, he might guided me in different way. So I'm a person who loves sports. As I mentioned before that, my ambitious goals, but there was no one to guide me in a right direction. Yes, definitely. I definitely missed my father now. Feel that when I spend time with my kids. But what I always talk to myself is that my son should not miss that opportunity. Whatever time I get, I spend my time with my kids, guiding them in the right way, in whichever way I can.
That situation, how did your mother stepped up the responsibility for you and your brother both?
Mother stepped in by giving a good education because she believed that only education can turn around things. In my village, I think we are the only two kids studied in English medium school. Everybody doubted with 300 rupees salary how you are going to complete their education in English school. You know, like metric schools, the fees are too high.
300 rupees. When is that? Which year is that?
It was, I think I was grade 1 or 2.
No,
It may
the
be
year.
30, 35 years back.
Okay.
No,
Oh.
I would say 39 years back.
Yeah.
So, she got a job because she's a widow, and then from the church they gave that job. She don't have any degrees. To get a good job, we need degree. She's that time I think PUC or +1
Yeah.
graduate,
Yeah.
and she know a little bit of Hindi.
39 years
She know
old.
how to read Hindi.
Mhm.
She did couple of Pradhimik, Madhyama, Rashtrabhasha. So she wrote that. That helped her to find a Hindi teacher job in the school, metric school. I was studying in the same school, and imagine I'm a student and mom is a teacher in the same school.
Uh-huh.
She stepped in by giving a proper education. She stepped in by her hard work, discipline of saving. With that 300, imagine she kept money for our education. It's not that easy. Not anybody can do. But for food and safety, we are living in my uncle's house. My grandfather, they are supporting me either.
Fast forward 20 years, 30 years. What made you to leave India and come to Canada?
So, up to grade 12, I'm in that village, very comfortable living with my friends, enjoying the moments. But, everybody will get that question, what next? Mom came to me and my uncle came to me and said, you didn't score much. You are just 60% of marks. What's your future? What are you going to? Everybody have a dream in India. Go to engineering or be a doctor or get a government job. This is what they know. Study well, right?
Yeah.
And then get a job and settle in life.
60% one is in
In +2,
intermediate. Okay.
out of 1200, I got like 700 and something. So I said, Mom, no, I want to go to Canada. If you ask me how you know about Canada, I don't know. Only the word Canada. Then she asked me how. No, I want to study nursing. Let me find a good college. I'll go get my degree and I will definitely go to Canada one day. They never stopped me, but they don't have any idea where to go, whom to approach. So I spoke to my karate master. He was a very supportive guy. He told me, okay, let's go to Bangalore. There is so much of college around there. Me and my karate master traveled to Bangalore, got my seat there, completed my studies. And then I moved to Saudi Arabia. 4 years I was there. That was a funny story. If you want to go to Saudi, you need to have 2 years minimum experience working in an hospital. But I was just 1 year experience. When I landed to Saudi, they were asking how you came to Saudi without proper 2 years of experience. So what else you know? You cannot work as a nurse. Tell me what else you know. I said, whatever job you give, I will work. So I learned Arabic, how to read, how to speak. Then I worked in a pharmacy as a cashier. If you see in Saudi, all the system, everything will be in Arabic. I started learning and started working there.
But how did you go to Saudi?
Saudi through agency, travel agency. I walked in a street in Bangalore. Because what happened is I wrote my IELTS 2008 and I didn't get the enough score to apply to Canada. So, of course, I was depressed. I was sitting in that park dreaming that I did something wrong. So I called my friend. He said, "Hey man, go to this agency. They will help you to go to Saudi if you are willing to go." I called my mom. Said, "Mom, I didn't get the enough score in IELTS, but there is another opportunity where I can travel to Ireland. But I need 4.64 lakhs." She told me, "I spent enough. Don't ask me anymore. It's you. Whatever you want, you do. Please don't ask even a penny." So now I have only one option: work in India for 10,000, 15,000, or do something different. So I went to the travel agency. I said, "I don't have much. Tell me how much is the expense. I want to travel as soon as possible." So they said 60,000 rupees. There is a clinic. If you want to travel, let me know. Within 6 months, you can go.
Yep.
So I think in 3 months, I traveled to Saudi. Spent 60,000. Went to a clinic. There all this story started. Then I started working in an insurance company where a data analyst. I learned, I don't know anything about computer, Excel, Word, everything I started learning by myself. Yeah, so this is my journey. After a couple of years, yes, I became a nurse then. I worked in an emergency ward there.
So you did nursing in Saudi too?
Yeah, yes, I worked as a nurse because I completed nursing, right, in India. Yeah. But it took me 2 to 3 years struggling in Saudi Arabia, worked in different places. But, like 16 hours I used to work in Saudi. My off day is Friday. That is 8 hours job. 8 hours job is my off day. 4 years I was in Saudi. Never took even a single day off. Finally, I have to quit the job and come back and look after my future. So, yes, I wound up my Saudi and then came back. But it was wonderful experience for me.
Yeah, when you say came back, is that like you went back to India or?
Yeah, I went back to India because to get married. It was 2013.
So now, Ashok actually asked how you, like, what made you to come to Canada, right? So since you travel back for your marriage, you had a chance to go back to Saudi, or what? At what point you had a chance to come again, or no, come into the country of Canada for the first time?
Okay, yeah, I missed that point. So after Saudi, I got married. We went to Maldives. I worked there for 8 years. So I was a nursing HOD. It was really a pleasure moment working in Maldives. It's a tourist spot, of course, but it's not financially. It's not a good place to live, of course. See, like, I was very comfortable living there with that job, comfortable in an environment, but financially, sounds good. I'm not very satisfied. Still, I'm looking for my dream to come to Canada. I was kept searching. What is the opportunity? What's the right way going to Canada? So I wrote IELTS when I was in Saudi. I wrote IELTS again in Maldives. I think 5 times I wrote IELTS. I kept trying. 2009, I did my application to Canada. But finally, I got I think in 2019, I got my PR. I landed to Canada. So I felt like I achieved my dream. Like my dream comes true in 2019, October.
And financial freedom is here now.
That is the biggest question. The moment I landed Canada, I thought everything is settled. Now I'm going to be financially secure. All my dreams has come true. That was the biggest shocking point.
I don't know how to ask. Okay, before even I ask this question, how old were you when you were married?
28.
Before that, you already worked in Saudi and Maldives?
Yes.
When did you start working?
So at the age of 22, I started working in Saudi. 4 years. Then moved to Maldives. But we moved to Maldives together.
After marriage.
After marriage.
And then you came to Canada?
Yes.
Have you ever started earning at a very early stage before you graduate and?
Yes. So once I completed my karate, at the age of 16, I started earning. I had my dojo. My students were brown belt. They reached to that level. Then I have to leave my village and move to Bangalore. So once I left my village, when I went to Bangalore, I started my dojo again in Bangalore. But I couldn't long last because of my studies and everything. It was very tough.
After landing in Canada, what is the hardest reality shock that you faced?
So the moment I landed, I thought I have a good degree, I have a good experience. I worked as a nursing HOD. So I'll get a job, good job, and I'll settle in Canada quickly. The moment I landed, I realized that all my values, like my education, is all come to zero. You no longer valued in that way. You have to start everything from scratch. That is the biggest shocking for me. If I need to work as a nurse, I have to go back, write NCLEX exam. Before writing NCLEX exam, you have to get that eligibility. Now things have changed, I think. So now, to survive, you need to find a job. So your degree is not valid. So now you need to find a job. I worked in a hotel, washing vessels, worked in Amazon, packing and picking, and then worked in a warehouse. Multiple jobs. And my wife supported a lot too. And then parallelly we have to study. So I have a big question, what is next? But my entrepreneurial mindset is still pushing me that I need to do something different. All these years you worked for somebody. Did you work for yourself? I kept asking to myself. But there is no capital, no proper experience, no proper guidance, and even your degree is not valid anymore.
Yeah.
What else you'll do? So I drew Uber, did whatever I can to support little bit to the family. That's it. Hands to mouth. You cannot save anything. Like with all the taxes and everything, if you see. That is the biggest realization point where I thought, no, I'm not going to continue this anymore. I have to tell you a story. Because of all this rush, I drew a car, met in an accident. My car completely scrapped.
Here?
Yeah, 2020 November. Yes, within 1 year time. Like I came to Canada in 1 year, I met in an accident. Because I couldn't sleep properly, working all these hours. And I have to drop my wife to her work and then come back to my college. Studying for 8 hours, again 12 hours of work. Even I worked as a PSW because back home nurse experience. So those 12 hours of workshop, you cannot sleep. Hardly I was sleeping for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
I completely slept inside the car.
Oh.
So that is the realization point where I felt, what the heck I'm doing here? Then I realized I have to find a different path. I should not copy paste somebody else is doing. Most of my friends who came before me, they all nurses who came, they worked as a PSW, they started studying for their RN exam. Once they finish their NCLEX exam, they get into a job again, working hospital, again night shift. That circle again keep going. So I want to break that. So what I did is I was doing my research on what is the best opportunity to start my own business. That's why I end up in massage therapy program. 2 years of full-time studies. I completed that and started my own business. But without my wife's support, I cannot do all this. She did parallelly registered nurse exams and she completed her nursing exams.
And she's still a nurse or?
Yeah, now she's not working as a nurse now, but she has a license.
Yeah.
Now, both of us are in the same business, working from home.
After landing in the country Canada, you have told us there were different kind of shocks that made you to understand the reality. Like though you had abundant of experience in your line of work, that is nothing here because you have to start from the scratch. And there were different type of struggle you might have experienced, of course. No, not everything was loud said here. Were there any moment during those hard time, that gave a thought, why did I chose to come to this country, or it's better to leave to a different country or back to the same country, or was there any such thought that came, like moving into the country for, is true, like purely a mistake?
Honestly, I did not feel that because my childhood is like that. So I know the hardship. Nothing comes easy in life. You have to fight for it. Your opportunity comes. So I was kept fighting and finding my own opportunity. So even though I am a nurse, I was a nurse. So nursing career is not the right path to choose. I chose another path. Now I'm very happy, financially secured. Nothing I'm a so optimistic guy. Talk positive, think positive, feel positive. Then you will be in right shape.
So since you said you always think positive, right, or an optimistic person, people will make mistake, and only based on the mistake there will be a lesson being learnt. Sometimes even when there is an advice coming for free, people won't take it, right? They have to make a mistake and learn the lesson. So when you started thinking, you always think optimistic, right? Because that would have been a habit by yourself. Have you ever if you want to say there were some mistakes that you saw the mistakes, learned some lesson, but you always had that positive thought, what were those mistakes that you wanted to talk about?
Plenty of mistakes.
We have a lot of time, and our listeners will be open, will having their ears open, because not everyone can, in my opinion, not everyone can make all the mistakes, right? If someone has already did that, I will hear from them. Let me try not to do that mistake. Probably I'll do something else.
Correct. So we learn from mistakes. So buying a first home was a mistake. Meeting people, right people, it's not easy to meet the right people on right time. We had enormous there was many incident where I would say, I can give some examples. My first home buy, I bought a townhouse at the peak, COVID kit, right? Everybody was struggling. The housing price was going up. Fear of missing out. We never educated ourselves about the proper real estate market. We are completely new. I was, I think, 2 years in Canada and desperately want to buy a house. Real estate, realtors, every house now there is a realtors are there. They kept pushing you to buy. That was one of the biggest mistake, I would say. Yeah, getting into real estate, investing into real estate is not a bad thing. It's not at all a bad thing, but your choice, how you make the choice is big. What value you are giving for that price is most important. And college degrees, if I come to Canada, I would have done differently. There is no need of getting into a college. Rather, if you are really good in, get some capital from the investors, or even go to bank, give your business plan, get the initial loan. I never know all that. Government is supporting. If you want to do a business, government loans are there. They are fully 80% government is supporting that funds. Never know all this. So you have to go back 2 years. You wasted that 2 years studying back again and coming back to do the business. See, once I read a book about E-Myth. If you want to be a businessman, you want to think yourself as an owner, not as a technician, not as a manager.
Yep.
But what we are doing is, we as a technician, we as a manager, and we as a owner, you cannot run business like that. That it's self-employment. Again, you are slave for yourself.
Yeah.
There are so many mistakes I could kept going on. So, but it teach me, it shaped me, and learned from my mistakes. And now I take this opportunity to tell people that you can do in a better way. Don't wait for opportunities. Opportunity won't come to you. You have to go and get it. See, I'm not a guy who speak English fluently, but I never hesitate talking. That is where you stand out from the others.
Since you said there are many mistakes that you do not want to talk about, right? Were there any mistake that made you to keep very much busy, not to move forward?
If you want to do a business, your cash flow is important. When you have liabilities, you don't have proper cash flow coming in. You are stuck somewhere. And in Canada, so now I have an online store. If you want to bring a product, if you want to sell, there are so much of regulations where you need to go through. It's not easy. So nobody is there to guide you in proper way. We are bringing products, putting that money into that, and you couldn't sell it. Now everything went vain. So is there is anybody who is really helping or guiding? Okay, this is what you need to do. I would have did it in the right way, and I would have be successful in few years before. So yeah, that's one of the mistakes I would say. Like getting a good accountant, getting a good lawyer, getting a good realtor is the basic requirement in Canada. Because finding a right people is not easy. So you need to build your network.
People are obvious to make mistakes, right? But based on the type of mistake they make, at what time of their age, what level of backup they had, can be financially or emotionally to give a support, they will undergo and subsequent or consequences, based on their individual experience. But just from your experience, any of these mistakes, if you want to talk about, were there any financial, was there any mistake that cost you financially or emotionally or relationship wise, even mentally,
Mistakes, when you're kept running behind money runs faster than you. So when you are coming to Canada initially, you should have a survival job, but don't stretch it. Don't go for part-time jobs, 2-3 jobs. Don't burn yourself. That's what I did. 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and burning yourself. During the COVID, my wife got COVID attack, 2 miscarriage, and apart from that, my accident. This all happened in 1-2 months time frame. I still feel like if I would have framed my life in better way, I would have skipped all this. But I was just running blindly, without proper goal, without proper guidance. So of course now it's a financial loss. You wasted 1 or 2 years there. Health wise, you are not doing well. See, you can create wealth, but if you don't have proper health, whatever you built is nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I realized that if somebody coming to Canada, okay, get your survival job, but don't stick to that. Find your purpose. I still remember about that Ikigai book about finding your own purpose. That makes you more happy. What is success? Success is how happy you are with what you have. That is my definition of success. It's not wealth, it's not about money. But of course, we need all that. But each one's need is different. Expectation is different. Frame your life accordingly. Don't just copy paste what others are doing.
Looking back, what do you realize that you misunderstood about yourself?
I think I have more potential than what I thought of. That is a misunderstanding. It's a late realization. If I would have realized earlier, then I would have been in a better shape. But doesn't mean that I'm not doing well. But I would have done everything 10 years back. Like importance of reading, listening, the maturity which I have right now. I was so emotional, angry when I was young. Not listening, not reading. Those shaped me today. Yeah, so that is what I say. Like, I never even thought that I will start a business in Canada. But of course, I have that inner feel that I need to do something. But working in Saudi Arabia as a nurse and then working in Maldives as a nurse, again coming back here, starting my own business. is not something I dream of, but those late realization made me to do this, and now I'm really happy with what I'm doing.
Let's move on to your business now. What made you to set up your business first? What is the first business you set up, and how did you set up? It's a 3.3 questions in one question.
So there is no external push to start a business. It's an inner belief that I can do, and then that's what it's required to survive in Canada too. Like, you should have a passive income. Even though you are working for somebody, you have a fixed income, but multiple source of income gives you that financial freedom which you are looking for. So once I completed my RMT program, I worked in a Kerala Ayurvedic center for 2 years, got that experience, that authentic Kerala style treatments. So once I got that experience, I started my real rehab clinic in Mississauga, where 18 staffs worked under me. Physio, massage, chiropractic care, where we helped people for their rehabilitation care, pain management, and even natural health treatments. Now I sold that business and focused on wellness industry, where I love to teach and educate people why health is important. It's not about how much you make money. If you don't have that health, there is no point of having that wealth. So now I need to help the society to understand the importance of health. So I completed my nutrition program, and now helping people how your diet should be, how you want to maintain your health, what changes you have to make in your lifestyle. So that is driving me now. Apart from that, I start my online shop, which is Wells Naturals. It's another brand where we are bringing authentic natural herbs and oils to heal people. And I have a couple of my own products: herbal tea, natural organic herbal tea, and even our Canadian brand Medistick Professionals, like painkiller spray and gels. That's also in my store. I highly recommend our audience to visit our store wellsnaturals.com. I started Fit 40. What it means? Business professionals or workers, like, they are all busy in their life, not taking care of themselves. So now that is an online coaching program where if they want to reach me, they can reach me through online. I can help them how their diet should be, what they are missing out, what their schedule should be to lead a healthy life. And then I have my own social media platform, my YouTube channel, Coach Arul Mindset. There I'm doing the same, educating people.
It is not easy to set up a business. Maybe let me start with this question. That rehab center, not rehab center.
Real rehab.
Yeah, that institution or the business, did you set it up as a self-employed or a corporation?
No. So I bought that clinic.
Uh-huh.
It was owned by a Chinese owner before.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely bought the entire setup
Mm-hmm.
with clients, staff, and the complete setup. Then I started hiring, because like initially I thought buying a clinic, start day one, you're going to make money. All the staffs are staying there, but that's not true.
That is what I was about to ask. How was your journey?
Yes. I went in a big dream that, I got my business now. I'm settled. I'm going to do a really good, good business. But not the real story. The real story is, the first day I'm entering inside the new clinic, I was a bit nervous. It's my first business in Canada. But that old owner has a couple of experience. He has his couple of locations. He was running the similar business. But I'm completely new. The first day I went inside, all my staffs called me, even though I'm a owner. They have high demand, saying that this is what I want. This is how much clients I require. Then I realized what's going on. 5 staffs resigned next day. Now I bought the clinic with a loan. There is no staff. I don't know how to recruit. Put it in Indeed. Nobody's calling. Nobody's coming to work there. It was a nightmare. But then slowly I started learning. Now, look back those days. That was a real learning how to run the business. Staffing is really an issue if you want to run any business in Canada. But of course, every business has to come through that. After that, I have 18 staffs. I had 3 physio, 1 chiro, I think 3 acupuncturists, 5 RMTs. I had only 1 RMT in the first 1 week of my business, and then slowly I started hiring one by one.
So was there any moment during this journey, when you started the business, was there any such moment where you thought or you realized, I cannot keep going with this?
Yes. Because you have a huge loan and the expectations what you have when you buying a business, that you are going to get 30-40% of ROI, return of investment, but not the actual case. When you run the business, you have so much of overhead, rents, staffing, reception, you have water and electricity. When you pay all this, what you come to a pocket is not that much what everybody is thinking about. So 10 to 15% is what you get. Out of that, you have to look for the marketing and you need to go talk to people. Talking to people, of course, it's good. But then when you run a business, you have to talk to lawyers. You need to talk to the medical health professionals and get leads from there. It's not easy. It's not that easy. Everybody says that when you are running a physio clinic, motor vehicle accident, WSIB, these are the one generate income. But when I bought and then I realized there is no such clients. The old owner was doing something different than what I want. So I focused on rehab, like real treatment. But there are different ways that where you can run the business. Like you are doing only relaxation massages, or you are focusing only on certain things, not focusing on real treatment. So when you really want to do that such things, you need to bring more motor vehicle accident clients or WSIB clients, that you need to get referral from the family doctors, lawyers. I don't have any such referrals. So I kept going to the clinics, talking to the doctors. Many times I felt this is not for me. Then family disturbance. Like when you are running a business, the work-life balance is not what you get.
Yeah.
Everybody dream that you want to run business, but when you get into the business, the time you spend for the business is more than what you really think of. Then suddenly, your wife is saying that you are not spending time with them. Kids are complaining, Dad, all the time you're going for business, you're not spending or you're not playing with me.
Yeah.
And started realizing what I'm doing. Am I doing right or wrong? So much of doubt comes, but then what you keep going is that the purpose, why you start this, what you really need. If you don't have that purpose, yes, you will vanish in some way.
In no time, man.
So that kept me going. I know that, of course, that initial 1 or 2 years, it's a struggle. But once you have to set a system. So I realized lately that you don't kept working. Create a system. That system has to run by itself.
Yeah.
You stay away from the business, but business has to run. That realization came later. At that time, I understand, okay, I can do it. So it's all about learning. Do mistakes, learn, and don't repeat the same mistake. As simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with the point that you just mentioned with regards to family and maintaining, like when you are running a business. Yeah. So, just an example for today, for your podcast recording, right? I sent you a text in the last minute. Hey, we are running late by half an hour or whatever, right? I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, just because of this one, right? So I can close my other stuff early, right? Anyways, so I woke up at 4:30, blah blah, right? I did the job, did the work, came back exactly like 10 minutes before Bharat came. He's already here, and then I came here just went to shower straight, got ready, came here, and by the time you came, we are already setting up the set,
Correct.
right? So yeah, it is, and that is this is the case for me every day. So right, just as when upstairs we discussed, right, like moments ago, it is not easy. Yeah, I
Agree.
100% agree with it needs a lot of sacrifices and whatever, right?
Yeah, if you don't have that real purpose, it slowly put you down, and that will discourage yourself. And even if wife is not supporting, that is most important too. Family support is what any entrepreneur is really need. If they start pulling you back, you cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm very grateful in that way. Like, I have a very supportive wife, always supported in what I was I wanted, and she was the backbone of me, like helping me in business, setting up or talking to clients. She comes along with me to meet lawyers. So yeah, I agree on what you said.
So when you started the business, where is your wife? What is your wife doing? Is she a partner in your business too?
Yep, she's a partner in my business, but at the same time she was studying. Because of my dream, she again, after a registered nurse, she got her registered nurse license, but again went back to study RMT. That is another 2 years full-time studies. So that sacrifice, I still believe, like, because of her only we were able to manage all these things. So now after she came to Canada, she did PSW, personal support worker. Then she did registered nurse. Then she did esthetician. Then now she became a medical esthetician. After that, she did RMT. That is another 2 years. So almost 6 years of studies. So, no, I think very few wife or spouse can support in a way like what she did for me. Each time we are down, we encourage ourselves. We spend time together. What boosts us is we go to gym early morning, 5 o'clock together to build that mindset. It's not easy. So that we set a day, and then we have work, like cook together, support each other. The family support pulled me or like pushed me all the way up to here. And even my kids. If I talk about my son, he wake up every day morning, alarm rings, he get up, go to treadmill, run for 30 minutes, do some exercise every single day. So that kind of environment helping me to go beyond what I can.
You already start. I'm trying to emphasize the word struggle. I know when you mentioned about the business, just the next day, 5 experienced, maybe in that specific clinic, right, walking away or not continuing their work in the clinic. You said it as a struggle to run the business from that point, right? But beyond that, there will be lot of external pressures. I would like to term it as a stress, right? When the word stress, I'm happy that you did not bring that word stress because you are an optimistic person. But in general, when something that was expected to give, may not be a revenue, but some kind of cash flow, but the moment you start seeing a journey, the bridge is breaking away, or some kind of gaps that you see, which may delay the journey or reach the goal, I don't know, forever as well. How you are able to manage that in your daily routine? Like, say it could be a sleep, like mood swings. You may be completely upset. When you start the day, or when you hear a comment or some kind of even to start something on the day 1 or day 2. How come you are able to manage those situations?
One is my childhood struggles built me a person who I am today. Then second, I have few no compromise stuff. Sleep. Minimum 7 hours of sleep. Anything I do, I don't care. 10 o'clock, I will be in bed. 5:30, I get up from the bed. I never sacrifice my sleep. So that keep me energetic and run throughout the day. Third, exercise. 5 to 6 days in a week must I go to gym, build myself mentally and physically. So I know the word stress is big. Like, it mean big for everybody. I'm a person as a professional, like health professionals, treating people, right? So I should not use that word stress, but many people come to me and say the same thing. Like, we are going through stuff, I have a stress. That's why they're coming for the treatment. That is another learning why I should not do the same mistake. See, in Canada, everybody has their own problem. But how you deal that problem makes you different from the crowd. Same problem, 5 people will handle differently.
Yep.
So that all comes by experience and how resilient you are to manage things. So, yeah, I never felt that. And if you enjoy doing certain things, that's the biggest thing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you'll be stressed. You'll burn out. But if you're enjoying doing, that will not pull you down, or that will not give you any sort of stress, because you're enjoying it. So I enjoy those moments. When something pushes me to beyond my limit, I again start enjoying, because there is where I build a new person. So you build yourself in uncomfortable position, not in comfort position.
So other than that business that you're rehab, what happened to that? You closed it. After that, what happened?
Any business, exit point is important. So I sold my business. So now I have a bigger vision to spread wellness, health, lifestyle. So that is what I started my social media as well. Like, I have a YouTube channel where I'm educating people to be healthy. So small changes in their life makes a huge difference, but we won't realize that. Of course, it could be a small, minute change. The lifestyle change will make a complete living difference.
Yeah, I followed you through your social media posts, and not just YouTube, right? It's on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere, right? I saw your post. Suddenly it popped up and I was like, okay, let me see who this is, right? Every day standing in front of mic, talking all this stuff about food and exercise. No, before it was massage therapy and whatever. You were talking about massage and whatever, muscle relaxation and whatever. So I started following you at that time, but I did see that you are concentrating more on fitness nowadays. The old videos are entirely different than what you're doing now, right? So you are talking more about fitness, you are talking more about food, nutrition and other stuff like that. What is that for?
Yeah, so good question. The last 3 years, we are very consistent about our own fitness, our own nutrition. That's changed my perspective about importance of health. So that's why I want to help someone, and I want to bring the same sort of energy which I felt with that certain discipline, with a certain nutrition. How impactful it is, how productive you will be if you make the small change in your life. That is the main reason why I want this wellness, strength training, nutrition, that I need to bring it to the public, like giving back to the society. So that's why now you are seeing that I'm promoting health, nutrition.
Yeah.
So I feel myself. I feel that energy. I'm not the guy who go to gym regularly, but I did my karate, but do ground exercise, not weightlifting. Initially, I thought cardio is the best way to be fit. But then I started realizing one by one, like cardio will give you a proper blood circulation, keep your cardiac, like heart functioning properly, but not your muscles. I understand the importance of muscles. If you build muscles, you feel younger. Your metabolic age will go down.
Yeah.
So me and my wife, we started measuring our own metabolic age. Like, my metabolic age is 35, but my actual age is 40. My wife's metabolic age is 32. So her actual age is 40. What it means is, when you build muscles, when you reduce your fat, not weight, that's two different story. Everybody is thinking like we need to reduce weight. That's a wrong concept. we need to reduce fat. When you reduce fat, you build muscles that will balance your metabolism. You feel more energetic. You looks young. It's completely a different concept. So when I understand and realize this, now I want to tell to people, see, this is what I'm realizing, this is what I'm getting it, please do this. So now I'm bringing that back to people who really looking for this.
But also I see some a special banner there on the picture on the background. There's fit for 40 something or fit 40 or whatever. What is that?
Okay, so fit 40, what it means is the busy professionals who are going to job, they don't have time to go to gym, or they don't have the time to read through all the nutritions, what to follow. So I'm there to help them. Like anybody need me to understand their life, what they are doing wrong, what they are doing good. So I'll help them understanding the nutritions and even fitness and strength training, and helping them to build muscles and lead a good life. So I'm in that, like Fit 40 is the program I started, and it's going well.
So that is yours.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Will it come as a package of a particular service, or they should somebody call you for that?
Yeah.
How can people
they
approach?
can contact me through my phone. Right now, my vision is to help as much as I can. There is no expectation as such, like I want to make revenue or anything, but I just want to share my knowledge. So I'm doing it from my home now, but I have a bigger vision. I want to get a studio, bring more people who are in need. I want to help them as much as I can, and want to share my knowledge about why we need strength training, why we need fitness. So that is the main reason why I started Fit 40.
If people watching this video with this episode, people may get a doubt, why is that you're doing for free?
So
Then
no, I didn't say that it's free.
okay, yeah.
There's a charge. See, we should not, there is no value for free service. I strongly believe in that.
Yeah. Okay.
If you do something free, people don't value your time, people don't value their own time. There is a cost associated, but it's about how much commitment you're doing. What I commit myself, that I'm not doing personal one-on-one training, because it's again my time. So I'm not doing that. I'm focusing on group training. Small groups, like 4 or 5 people in one single group. And even online coaching. Like if they only focusing on nutrition, so then I will connect personally and then understand their diet pattern, and then I can give proper diet routine which they can follow. If therefore each one's focus is different, they might be focusing on weight loss, but again, as I said, I will train them why weight loss is not the right path, fat loss is the right way of going, and then I will give them a proper nutrition channel which they're supposed to follow. So bring back to your question, free? Yes, it's not free, but if they are committed, if they really want to need that change they're looking for, yes, I'm there to help them.
Great. I actually have multiple questions based on what you have told just now. I'll not try to put many questions at one point. But I'll start with very simple question. Why it is Fit 40?
If you see that age group, 40, we have so much of responsibility. Taking care of our own kids, their education, taking care of our own parents, taking care of ourselves. Like we have to think about, say, look at what's going on in this world right now, like with COVID or with AI booming, job losses, so much of stress and war happening around. This is an age group where we badly need that health. And apart from this, I would stress, above 40, we start losing muscles. We start exposing our joints. That is why we get arthritis, osteoporosis, all these joint problems. So badly we need to educate our population, our public, that the importance of muscle training, strength training, resistance training. So it's a beginning. So I started focusing on one age group where I can give service. If I look for large group or large number of people, I cannot service in better way. So that is also one reason where I focused only on above 40 population.
So most of the symptoms that you said, right, like especially burning out, that can come from many reasons. But doing an exercise is a routine. People may start at any age, especially when they start doing it at an early age. Right? Maybe once they turn like 18, right? After 18, there are different informations like that I know about, that may be true, may not be. I did not check the fact. check the fact. If you start lifting weight at the early age, you may not grow height. Like you will not gain more height, because the moment you start lifting weight, the weight is pulling your height down. That may not be a fact, or may be a fact, but so I would assume that at least somewhere around after attaining age of 18 or 20, people can start doing or can start lifting weights, and once it becomes a routine for them, it continues forever. At what point do you think, or based on what, from your own experience or from what you hear from your clients, or you might have had different sessions or group sessions like you mentioned, hearing the info, thought from different individuals, at what point do you think they really lose the track of doing an exercise or the discipline of following a routine? Or I never had that discipline of doing an exercise, and at what point did they started realizing it?
So there is a multiple question, so I will answer one by one.
Sure. Yeah. I try to put it in a simple way,
I know,
but
I understand.
It's coming naturally.
So my personal experience, I would say, I started doing karate when I was grade 3. So what age I will be, like 8, 9? So am I building muscles? Yes. It doesn't mean that I will stop growing. Growth hormones are different. That will not stop you growing. That is automatic. Our body has built in that way. So by doing exercise or lifting weight will pull you down is not fact. And no, starting age, there is no such age. Like you can start at any age, even at the age of 60 or even at very early age, you can start. But each body capacities are different. That is why you need to understand your own body. Say, for instance, person who is age 60 started lifting weight. That is the first time he is going to lift weight. He need to be like very cautious that not going like 40, 50 pound at the same time. Start slow. Build slowly. And that strength, you can feel your body, like when you build strength, you can slowly, gradually increase. Same to the young age. So, to your question that growth will stop, no. And then, most of our age, like 20, 21, 22, our hormones are really good. Like we push beyond our limit. We start doing vigorous exercise. We build a good muscles. But then once we get married, our responsibility shifts. Now focus on family, focus on kids. Now our motivation drops, or our priority drops. That is the reason why people are getting away from this. But if you have good discipline, you can bring that back. See, everybody complains about time. So, I started working, now I don't have time. That all excuses. See, everybody is having 24 hours.
Yes.
Correct? So, but how you prioritize things, how design your day matters a lot. Like, if you do multiple things, you only 20% of things what you do gives you money or wealth. The other 80% could be crap. But first find out that. And then put that extra effort to those such things. In that 20%, I would say health. Health gives wealth.
Yeah.
So if you realize that, everything's solved.
So going into the next business that you're running, I think it's kind of e-commerce business. It's an online online service or online
Yeah,
shop.
online shop.
Shop. Okay, what is that?
So it's a brand I created, Wells Naturals. My concept is to bring natural products, natural organic products. One is herbal tea. I have certain types of herbal teas which helps for immunity, detox. That's my own brand. And then Kerala oil, authentic traditional oils, helps for muscle pain. So this is the reason why I started that. Now it's available in Canada. People can get into my store, wellsnaturals.com.
So since you mentioned about tea, right? I'm a tea lover, right? And the type of tea I drink, mostly like 80% milk and 20%, if it is coffee or tea, tea powder or tea mix, like something how they make. I don't know how to prepare a tea, but I drink tea a lot.
Okay.
I have seen how it is made. Since you mentioned the herbal tea, I tried many different tea here
Yes.
in Canada. If you want to tell what is the specialty about that herbal tea to make it stand out from various other herbal teas you see here in this country, what would that be?
First of all, herbal tea is completely different than the normal tea. Our herbal tea, Wells Naturals, it's not a powder form. It's a authentic organic leaf. It number of leaves that helps you to boost your immunity, detox yourself. It's very simple. In a hot water, putting that leaf and just drink without sugar. So this is purely a herbal form. That is what we stand out.
At beginning of today's episode, still remember there was a question about doing well means what for you. Back when you are in the hometown or before going to Saudi or Maldives. But after so many years, if you want to, I know that there should be a different version of success, and every time there is a success, the definition changes.
Yes.
And if you want to share your latest version of the success, what would that be?
So now for me, running a business is not success for me right now. For me, being healthy, finding that right balance in family, and then giving back to the society is what I believe in. So that's why I started a charitable trust in India, which is Spread Smiles Charity, where we are supporting kids for education, housing, medical support. So that gives immense satisfaction, giving back to society. So for me now, success is not just numbers. It's a satisfaction about what you believe in. So everybody have their different term or different definition about success. They have certain number of money. Okay, if I reach this 1 million or 2 million, 3 million, I will be successful. But then again, that success, from there another story starts, another goal starts. So there is never ending process. That's a human nature. So I'm also one of that. So I'm not saying that I'm not the guy who don't want money or wealth. Of course, that is important. But at the same time, finding that right balance and living with the society where you are, and like what you have learned all these years, like what you given back to them, that is what mean too much for me now. Like that is what my purpose is. That is what I'm doing. That's why that's the reason of wellness, or that is the reason of Spread Smile Charity. So now for me, success is all about happiness, finding that peace, and be satisfied with what you are.
Yeah, your success definition is really interesting to me. Because one among the term you used is satisfaction is a success. Many people who I have seen, including myself, if I am being satisfied with something, that will be my best effort towards it.
Mm.
Meaning, I may not do anything beyond that on that specific matter because I am already satisfied with what I am doing. I'm already satisfied with the level of, I'm already satisfied with the level of success or no is being achieved through me. That means I may not be doing anything beyond that. So anyone who is being satisfied, in my opinion, when they say I'm satisfied, which means that's the end of that conversation, end of that specific exercise, end of that specific business, or a transaction among people. When we are talking in the business terminology, how come it becomes a success definition for you? Is that meaning you will not be doing anything beyond that from what you're doing now, kind of calling it as a retirement?
No, I respect your perspective, but I didn't say that we stop there. Like, satisfaction never stops. Like, once you settle in something or you achieve certain things, of course you drive to do something different, and that is what take you to the next level. Next level, in a sense, make you to alive as well. Like, once you're done, you're done. So there is no drive, there is no purpose. So I didn't never meant that. But for me, success is whatever you have, you should be satisfied. Doesn't mean that you have to stop there. There is so much of other things to do. You can find your own purpose. That's what I mean. My purpose to help society, or not just the society. It doesn't mean that I want to make income. Yes, of course I need to. I create my wealth. I need to transfer the wealth to my next generation. Every common man have that same feel as like I am or you. So same, like, I need to find my ikigai, like why I wake up, correct? Like, what is my purpose in this society? If you don't have that, you are done. So for me, there is no retirement age. There is no retirement as such. You can keep working. Doesn't mean that you are always look beyond money and set a end goal saying that this is my target. No. Wealth or money is a byproduct of what value you are giving to people. That is what I believe in. That is what I'm trying to convey. Maybe I conveyed wrong way. I hope you understand.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, just that word satisfaction, right? I have heard this in many of the discussions. Not in the podcast, of course. But when I say I'm let's say you call someone, especially customer care, I'm satisfied with what the explanation is given. That's end of the conversation. No, it not go beyond that. So when it is coming to the success, that just
maybe that particular track is done, but you have multiple other options to open up and keep doing and explore it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in the beginning conversation I said, keep yourself in more discomfort position where you can grow further. So one achievement doesn't mean that you have to stop there. You have multiple other things to do.
We have discussed for 3.5 hours so far about your journey, success journey, your business, and how you became what you are now from what you were before. So many people in today. You also mentioned something like, "Oh, people say I don't have time." I hate them, by the way. I literally hate them. Whenever people say, "Oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that," they have time for watching movies.
Yes.
They have time for watching games. They have they have time for everything, except for doing something that makes sense. But anyways, so what will you say? What will you tell the people, or what you want to say to the people who are listening to the episode, who are still in the in a dilemma that they don't have time for doing something, or to somebody who is seriously looking to build his life and career in Canada or elsewhere, India, US, anywhere, right? Or somebody who is still who still wants to build something, set up a business or set up his life and whatever, right? But still is worried or is fearing about the losses that you may see. What kind of message do you want to give to the people?
You learn when you are doing. You never learn just by thinking. So if you are really need to be successful or achieve something, or you need to start some business, you have to start. See, procrastination will not take you anywhere. Or if you think that I need to sophisticate it with all the knowledge or all the equipments, or if you need to start your YouTube channel, for instance. So, okay, let me train myself, let me buy stuff. You never start. You have a mobile, just start. When you start, you learn by the process. Then you change yourself. You are not answering to anybody. You have to answer to yourself. You are not competitor to anyone. You are your own competitor. Each day, improve yourself. Over the period of time, if you see 4 to 5 years down the line, you are a different person. Your mindset changed, your personality changed, the way of talking changed, that confident level change. It all comes by experience, not by thinking or procrastination. This is what my message to anyone. If they really need to start, they have to start. Somebody says tomorrow, that tomorrow never comes.
So if somebody listens to this advice and start something, and if they lose something, do you think they
That's fine. It's not end of the life.
should they come searching for you?
So my journey will help them for sure, because every success has a lot of failure stories. 1,000 failure story and 1 success story. That's what people are hearing. But they never hear that all the 999 failure stories.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful message for all our listeners. Now, if there is one day or right away after we publish this episode, if your mother is going to listen to this podcast, what message she would like to hear from you?
Wow. It's really emotional when I talk about my mom. Today she is with me in my house in Canada. That's the biggest achievement for me. Because the struggle she went through, the hardship. Imagine 2 kids, just 1 and 2. And then she has to sacrifice her entire life for 2 kids. She never had any dream. Her only dream is to bring up 2 kids. If she not put in proper school or gave us good education, I'm not here today. So whatever I am today is all because of her sacrifice. So I would say, so thanking mom is not the right way. I believe just give that love back, whatever way possible. So I had a dream that I have to bring my mom, keep it with me, and give as much a service which I can give back to her. Mom, thank you so much for the sacrifice you have shown. Today, me and my elder brother, we both are doing really well. It's all because of your sacrifice. So, I tell all the people who are listening, don't let your mom down or your parents. Because of them, you are here today or wherever you are. So, please respect them and do as good as you can.
That's a very emotional note for all the listeners, including mom. Thank you, mom, for giving us Arul Prabin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for Arul Prabin for taking time to be in our podcast today.
It's a great pleasure to be here. And of course, it's my first broadcast, but you made me feel more comfortable and give me that freedom to express myself. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Arul.
Thank you.
Yeah.